Hello, 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 hello. How are we all doing today, everybody? Welcome in. We're here with our GTRC, ladies and gentlemen, Gran Turismo Racing Community, Round 5, BMW E30s. So, we've busted out these late 80s BMW classics, the old BTCC style racing in the good old days over there in the United Kingdom, especially a little throwback love here at Gran Turismo 7 and the Gran Turismo Racing Community today. We just watched an interesting little practice race right before we went live here today, and it's going to be spicy. It's going to be spicy. So, I'm just checking everything out. Just bear with for a second. There we go. Same old every time. Alright, so we got one round left after this round, ladies and gentlemen. So there is going to be a champion crowned in 2 weeks' time here for the BMWs. So this is just a mini series. So that's why it's only half the distance of the GT4 series. Of course, it runs in the alternating weekends. So round 5 of 6, we're at Maggiore. We've seen some great racing at Maggiore last weekend. Hey, how you doing? KBTV, how you doing, my friend? Welcome in, welcome in. Again, just a quick check. We're going to go check on the GTRC YouTube here, make sure everything is working. Everything looks pretty good. Alright, that's good. I always like to make sure before we kick the broadcast off in full swing. So, Scott Arthur coming in with that thumbs up as well on the stream. Appreciate you, Scott. How's everybody doing today? How are your weeks? We're finally into the weekend. You all chilling? You got big plans? You got some family outings? What's everybody up to this weekend? We're up to, well, a GTRC race currently, and then a little bit more fun here later on in the day as well. E30, yeah, this could be good. This could be good. It's been a good championship here so far, and we'll flip you over to the big screen here in just a little bit. We're just waiting for qualifying, essentially, really, to get going. So I'm actually going to save that replay, though. Fantastic. All right, so now that they've fixed spectator mode, ladies and gentlemen, we're having an issue with our spectator mode, and it was caused by the newest release of the VR2 setup for the PlayStation 5. However, the game came in, did an emergency update, and it seems like they fixed the issue with the VR2. So I'm not 100% sure who's going to be racing VR and who's not today, but I do believe that the decision has been made that VR is allowed to be used in competitive play. So we're going to have a mixture of potentially VR2 racers and racers not using the VR. So this should be a little bit interesting here today. I could be wrong, but I could be right. I'm not 100% sure. But we do know that the VR2, I mean, all the cool stuff they could do with the VR2 was designed for Gran Turismo. I mean, come on. It looks amazing on VR2 from what I can tell. I unfortunately do not have one, so I haven't tested it myself. And if I had one, you probably wouldn't see me for a week. So, yeah, it's probably a good thing we don't. Alright, so we're just waiting. We're chilling. We're going to talk a little bit about the races. The BMW E30s, 1989 M3 Sport Evolution, whatever you want to call them. They have a couple different ways that they're called in the game here. There is some tuning involved with these cars, so the cars do have a specific tune setting that is to be used in the cars. They're allowed to, of course, from there, do some individual suspension, toe camber, all that stuff. They're free to tune all those things. Racing soft tires are required for the series, so the drivers are only using soft tires, which means in an hour's time, they're most likely going to need to make a pit stop for at least tires. Probably fuel as well. Again, these are late 80s race cars, or street cars really, turned into race cars, I guess, with some roll cages and some racing parts in them. To make them a little more manageable around the racetracks. So they're spicy. They're definitely spicy, and we're on Maggiore. And I mean, Maggiore is a very undulating twisty, curvy, high speed, medium speed type of racetrack. It's a ton of fun. But boy, if you get it wrong, you pay the price. So it's going to be interesting to watch these drivers navigate this particular car around this racetrack for an hour. So it is a random weather model, so anything could happen. We don't know what's going to happen with the weather. We keep it random, so the broadcasters, the admin staff, even the racers don't know what's going to happen. All you can do is try to prepare the best you can for every situation during practice and testing. So we'll have to wait to see what happens with the weather. It's 3 times tire and 3 times fuel, I believe, for this series as well here at the GTRC. So, like I said, in an hour's long race, we're probably going to see a one-stop. Strategy-wise, typically we see the one-stops, but if drivers are really battling and really fighting hard, we will see a few of these drivers make a 2-stop style strategy. Damage is on the light damage model here in the series, so at worst, what's going to happen for these drivers is it's going to cost them 30 seconds of damage time, which will cost you, maybe a couple seconds on a lap, depending on the damage that you do receive. Yeah, other than that, it looks like we got a good healthy field here today. Almost a full grid. We got what looks to be 12 racers. So we're just setting up the lobbies right now. So let's flip you over to the bigs. Let's get the big screens up here. Stefan coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Let's go. It says Jakey, how you doing, my dude? Everybody up in the house tonight. We love to see you. Hope we're all doing well. Hope we're all about to enjoy a pretty good race. It should be spicy, so. Alright, it looks like we're getting some communication between our host, who is Hair Razor, of course, one of our administrators here at the Gran Turismo racing community, and the drivers right now. So they're all just making sure everybody's equipment is good, everybody's connection is nice and stable. They're just going through the process right now, going down the safety checklist, so to speak. And we'll see, I think, one more lobby reset potentially, and then it'll be qualifying. So it's 10-minute qualifier typically here. That's going to relate to 5 hot laps, maybe 6 hot laps here for the drivers today. For qualifying, we don't use the qualifying setting in the game because it does tend to cause some weird issues still. They haven't quite perfected it, so we just allow the drivers to have X amount of hot laps, and then they're to pull off in a designated area determined by, of course, the league officials when they set the series up. So at that point, they'll have a couple of minutes of spare time to do what they need to do, and then it'll be race time. So in about 15 minutes time here, ladies and gentlemen, we should be racing. And there we go, getting the word that quali is underway here. So let's find us a driver. And we're going to be on board with Doug Barrow here, as he is the first one out here in the BMW E30 Series Round 5. And we are under official qualifying conditions, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome in, and let's go. This should be fun. This should be fun. So it's Doug Barrow out first. He's in that Labatt's Blue BMW here. And you know, that's totally a legit livery, however you want to pronounce it, back in this time, in this series, back at the day. So there is some true genuine liveries here on track, and of course we got some custom made ones here as well. We got some cool liveries on track for sure. Let's take a little bit of time to look at them while we can. Alright, so there's Doug Barrow there, and a good message on the side of that car saying don't drink and drive. We 100% agree with that message here as well. Alright, so Doug Barrow there first. We're going to go take a look at the driver in behind, who's going to be Pagum's here. And he's in the old mellow yellow coal trickle car. That is fantastic. Oh, that's fantastic. Love that. Alright, we got Type R here, and he's in his typical style here. His typical style. He's always showing some love to Japan there in the Japanese culture. So that's fantastic. We got Just Penelope, who's first season in with the GTRC, and she has proven to be a very worthy opponent here in the GTRC, and keeping it very clean and simple here on the racetrack with that livery. We got Petrol Head, of course, too. Ooh, bad angle there. And he's got the same livery all season long here so far. He's got a lot of good messages on this car if you really take a look at it and get down on it there. We got Action Jackson here on track as well. Auto Scene Racing, and another classic livery from back in the day. We appreciate that. We've got Auto Scene here, This is a livery right here. Oh my, I don't even know who this is actually. Who is this? Sarah. Ah, it's Sarah. Fantastic. Love to see Sarah on track. I believe this is her first one. I think this is her first official GTRC race, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome to her, and fantastic looking livery. Honestly, that is a cool livery. We love to see the new faces stepping in on the racetrack. Fantastic. We've seen Petrols. We got Happy Pappy here. And ooh, boy, has Happy Pappy been on fire lately. It's going to be very fun to see what this guy's got with the crunchy livery here today on this BMW. That's a beaut. We got Hair Razor here as well, the host. He's in that classic Martini livery here. We're probably missing in the flying lap here now, but we're going to take a look at these things. We got Trackmaster here as well. He's got the Tiffany & Company livery rocking and rolling here today. Looking good. Rolex on the back window there. We've got Ibra here as well in that classic Ibra livery. Castrol GTX livery there. You know it's Ibra when you see that livery on track. We got Bo Snipe on track here as well. He's in that Jägermeister livery. It's a different color this time. We're orange today. Alright. So 12 drivers on the racetrack, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's get some information up for everybody here. Alright, that was some good timing here as we're on board with Doug, as he's just coming about midway around the racetrack. We got Brandon. I passed my test. Sadly, I'm not able to make it today. Hey, you know what? Congratulations, Brandon. Appreciate you. Hey, got ourselves a big truck driver here in the house. It's huge, buddy. Congrats, man. Don't worry about the race. Go celebrate. Go and enjoy it, man. You worked hard to get there. Love to see that. Love to see that, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Joe coming in with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Much love, everybody. So, let's see what we got here as we're coming around. Alrighty. Alrighty. We're coming through the S's here right now. It's a double, well, it's not, it's a double hairpin corner, quote unquote, with some air flashing quotes. Yeah, it's a set of S's, but not a set of S's. And then we come into this sweeping left-hand corner. I have a track map for this track. I just, I didn't put it into the stream. I forgot. So we're rolling without it today. We've got Doug here in first place. So let's see what he puts down for the first flying lap. It's a 2:05.6. What has Pigham's got? 2:05.6 as well, just behind Doug. What is Type R got? 2:07. That's going to keep him in 3. Just Penelope, she's got a half-second penalty. That's going to nullify her lap, but it was the fastest with a 2:05 as well. Schnauzer's going to move up into 4th place. Let's see what Sarah's got here. She comes around. It's a 2:08 as well. Petrolhead coming around. He's got a penalty, so that's a null and void lap as well. That's unfortunate for him. Let's see what Pappy's got as he comes around here. And a couple drivers are going to have to make it up here. 5th place from Happy Pappy, and he has been moving lately, ladies and gentlemen. Hair Razor's about to come around here. We got 12 drivers on track here today, so nice, juicy, healthy grid here today from this BMW series. Has been all season. And he's going to jump up into 3rd place, so let's see what Ghost has now as he comes around. Trackmaster, Lone Ghost. The game's messing with my head today. It's changing everybody's names. He's just coming around this final corner here. He gets a nice apex there. Should give him a really good run out of the corner here. And these cars, they don't have aerodynamics like our typical race cars do. These are your everyday mom and pa driving cars to work and taking the kids to school kind of cars back in the day, turned into circuit cars. So they don't have the aerodynamic grab on the racetrack like a GT4 or a GT3 or Group 2 or higher downforce cars do. They're very, very limited to the amount of suction they have, so to speak, to the racetrack. So you really got to watch the amount of body roll you put into these cars. Less body roll is going to mean much better laps, and Bo coming into P4 there. So I think Ibra's the only one here who hasn't gotten his first hot lap in. So we're going to jump on board with Ibra. Chris Reeves coming in with that thumbs up. Much love, my dude. And he's just coming around the final corners here. We got 2 drivers that had penalties, so they had nil and void laps there. That was just Penelope and Petrolhead, so we'll have to see where they set in after their next set of laps around. But it is Doug Burrow currently sitting in pole by 3/100ths of a second over Pigham's. Ibra must have got out really late here as Doug's just coming around here for a second lap. Let's see if he does better. He does. It's a 2:04.6, so he does improve. What does Pigham's get? He gets a 2:04.9, so those two are battling right for first and second right now. We got a 2:06.5 here, so Hair Razor's a little bit off that pace currently, but he is up on this lap. Bo Snipe jumped into 4th place with his lap. Type R's in 5th currently. There we go. We got Sarah just coming through here and Schnauzer just coming through. Do either of them improve it? they do improve on their laps, but it doesn't grab them any more position. Pappy's just coming through here. Let's see if he improves on his lap as well. And it's going to be an improvement, a big improvement, a 207.6. That puts him up into 7th. We got Petrolhead now up into 8th. Sarah's in 9th. Just Penelope up into 10th here. And she's a 208.7. We got Lone Ghost there. He hasn't got the perfect lap in yet. He made a little bobble on the first lap there, so we'll see as soon as he gets around to get the proper lap in. Oh, Chris coming in with a big drop, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get a hashtag Chris up in the chats. Coming in with the 700-star bomb. My dude, much love. I appreciate you, my guy. Ibra doing a fantastic job there. He's up into P8. Ooh, Petrolhead was drifting that car around that corner. He's really using the fact that these cars are really, really loose to try and get this car to rotate around the corners. Now, that may gain him some speed, but it's definitely going to create some tire wear as well. We got Sarah's down in 10th. We got just Penelope here in 11th. We got Lone Ghost here in 12th. Puzzlement, a.k.a. Sarah, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday, Timmy. Cheers, brother. Nothing but love for you, man. Give him hell, Pidgey, he says. Alright, so here we go. It's Doug. He's still sitting in pole position. 0.3 of a second ahead of Piggums, but obviously Doug made a mistake because now Piggums is ahead of Doug here on track as far as their position goes. And you can see a little slide come out of Piggums there as he came around that first part of this double hairpin at the end of the track. And ooh, almost too wide. He may pick up a half second there. It was very, very close. But Cole Trickle doing what Cole Trickle does best, ladies and gentlemen, and take that metal yellow across the finish line one way or the other. So here we go. It's Piggums coming across. Oh, I can have so much fun with that car. That car looks awesome. And is he going to do it? He is going to take pole position from Doug. Is Doug, we know he didn't have the best lap there, so now it's Piggums on pole with a 204.3. Hairraiser's up in the third with a 205.6. Bo Snipe, ooh, he is mowing the lawn here, so that's going to be a tough lap for him. We got Type R in 6th. We've got Snozzer in 7th. We've got Pappy here in 8th place, and Pappy has been looking racy lately, boys and girls. Watch out for that guy. We got Ibra here in 10th. We've got Petrol in 11th. Oh, Petrol jumping up into 5th there, so grabbing a spot on Bo. We know Bo's not going to have a good lap this time around due to the whatever happened there, getting a little bit wrong. Puzzlement up into P8 here. We got Snozzer in 9th. We've got Pappy in 10th. We've got Ibra in 11th. And Lone Ghost here in 12th. But that's all right. That is all right. Qualifying and racing are two different things, ladies and gentlemen. It's one thing to qualify fast, try to race that fast for an hour straight, completely different ball game. You got to really worry about those tires. You got to worry about the fuel in your car. You got to worry about your position on the racetrack and where everybody else is placed on that racetrack. It's all about strategy and good, calm, decisive decision making as everything is happening in front of you. So we'll have to see how this plays out, but the usual suspects are definitely up in the front of the pack. Just Penelope has jumped up into P3 here with a 205.3. I knew there was more to come out of Just Penelope here yet today. We got Hairraiser in the 4th. That puts Petrohead down into 5th. We got Bo Snipe here in 6th, and he's coming around here. We're going to stick with Bo Snipe. This should be a good flying lap here for him this time around. Alright, he's coming around that final corner. Let's take a little look. Aaron coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, my dude? How is the little legend Nora and the missus doing? I hope the whole fam jam is doing fantastic today. Miss Devious, good luck, everyone. Alright, so it is Bo Snipe. Here he comes. It is going to be... Oh, nope, that was the bad lap. Let's just carry on. It's Type R here in P7. 206. Ibra's best lap at 207. Puzzlement at 207.4 as well. Right there, nipping. Snozzer in 10th. We've got Pappy here in 11th. And Pappy's been doing really well here today as well. And we got Lone Ghost here rounding out our field. Ooh, Piggums is just going to park it off the racetrack here. Alright, there we go. So Piggums is finished his qualifying. Doug's doing much of the same thing. Just Penelope's now going to pull it off the racetrack here as well. So this is how we qualify here, ladies and gentlemen. They have finished their required amount of laps that they're allowed to have for qualifying, and now they'll all just park it as they come across the start-finish line here. So Hairraiser coming around. You can see a little paint scraped off the rear fender of that car there. So maybe not the best to lap that last time around with a 220. So already the track is proving to be very difficult. And we're just coming up this run. Start-finish line is just a few feet in front of this race car here, and he's going to come around with a 209.5. So 205.6 is Hairraiser's best lap. Petro is finished. Bo is finished. Type R is finished. Ibra is finished. Puzzlement is finished. It looks like that's qualifying. Yeah, Lone Ghost almost get her nice save right there by Lone Ghost, ladies and gentlemen. He has all kinds of out of sorts there. They are doing fantastic. 5 months today, just trying to get a late nap in before qualifying. Hey, happy 5-month birthday to the little legend Nora, ladies and gentlemen. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad everything's going well so far. And get that nap in, my guy. I feel you. I feel you. It's so easy to make a tiny mistake, man. And with these caliber drivers, you can bet your bottom dollar that they'll capitalize on it too. Definitely got to play the long game in these deals. Facts. Very well said. All right, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's qualifying here. We're going to sit on our pole position car here, and we're just going to let the drivers going to do some donuts. They're going to put on a little show for everybody here. They have a little bit of a window now to kind of get everything all sorted out. They can make any last minute adjustments if need be. They can blow some donuts. They can have some fun. That's what it's all about after all. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it still is about having fun on and off the racetrack. So we're just checking everything, making sure everything's running good. One more last time before we get full-fledged into this. All right. Brandon coming in with the share. Chris coming in with the share as well. Appreciate those shares too, my guys. I'm not getting those alerts for some reason. All right. We're probably about a minute away from race time here, ladies and gentlemen. So we got the host asking all the drivers right now if they are ready to go. Are we ready to go, ladies and gentlemen? Are we ready? All our viewers sitting at home or in your workspace, wherever it is you're viewing from today, are we all ready for a great race? This is going to be a spicy race. Anything can happen at any time to any one of these drivers. Maggiore has been proving to be very, very difficult with these BMW cars, from what I understand from some of the drivers. So this should be a very interesting race here today. And again, like I said, there could be drivers potentially on track with that new VR system as well, which is, well, that's just going to add to the interesting factor of every race here moving forward now with this VR in place. So, just have to see how it all plays out. So there is no bonus point for the pole sitter. The only benefit of being on pole position is you get to start at the front of the pack, which we see here right now. So it is Pigham's here on pole, followed by Doug Barrow, just Penelope in third, Hairraiser in fourth, Petrohead in fifth, Bo Snipe in sixth, Type R in seventh. We got Ibra in eighth, Puzzlement in ninth, Snozzer in 10th, Happy in 11th, and Lone Ghost in 12th. And we are getting hot. Kick them tires, light them fires. It's time to go racing. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We got 5 reds waiting for that green. It's green, and we're going, and it's going. And Doug got a good launch there, but it got hiccuped. So Pigham's is going to get the whole shot here, and we're going to go 3 deep. Going into turns 1 and 2. Here we go. Let's see how this all works out for everybody. Pigham's is through. Just Penelope and Doug Barrow side by side. Hairraiser there with Solo with 2 cars side by side behind him. Just Penelope is going to edge out, but Doug is on the inside here. But that's going to put him on the outside here coming into turn 3. Just Penelope has the position. Doug's going to settle into P3. Hairraiser here in 4th place with Petrohead right there in 5th. And so far, 1st, 5th place just in a nice straight line. Very quickly, these drivers have sorted out in that single file. Bo Snipe here in 6th place. Type R in 7th. We got Ibra in 8th. We got Snozzer in 9th. Puzzlement in 10th, Pappy in 11th, and Lone Ghost right there in 12th place. Alright, everybody survived turns 1, 2, and 3 here on lap 1 at Maggiore. That is fantastic. It is race time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. So, Pigham's taking the field away here, coming up into the uphill S's, and it is race on. Everybody right now is chasing that bright green and yellow car from Pigham's. Just Penelope here in 2nd place, and these two, Pigham's and Just Penelope, have had some incredible battle over the coming weeks and the passing weeks here. I suspect it's not going to be any different here this week either. Doug Barrow in 3rd place. Is he going to take a look here as we're coming into the bank corner? He is going to take a look, but he doesn't have the position. He's just going to have to settle back in behind Just Penelope there. Just Penelope does a great job at making sure Doug has no inside line there. He settles back into 3rd, but that allows Hairraiser and Petrol to all close up here. So 5-way battle right now for 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th place. It's a 5-way battle. It's fantastic. Let's keep it going. We're keeping our eye on the midfield, and they're all nose to tail in that midfield here as well. So, ooh, Hair Razor and Petrolhead there are having a little battle for 4th and 5th place. Hair Razor holds them off as he's got the inside line coming into the corners. Ooh, Petrolhead gets a little bit loose there. Petrol really pushing that BMW right now to keep with the pack of this drivers, but he's got slipstream to his advantage here. He doesn't need to overdrive this car. Let's get into the middle of this pack. Let's jump on board with Doug Barrow here, as he's our 3rd place driver in the middle of this group. And well, you can see what he can see behind him. Take a look behind him here. You can't see much, I guess, with that fender, but it looks like Petrolhead and Hair Razor, they're going to be battling again. Hair Razor took a little look there, but he just Petrol, sorry, but he just didn't have the position. Hair Razor really closing up on Doug here, coming into turn 2. You can see Petrolhead getting all kinds of sideways. Just Penelope on the outside there. She tucked back into 3rd place, and there it is. Hair Razor takes a look up, and he's going to grab P3 from Doug here. He's going to defend that next corner, and now Doug's got to worry about Petrolhead in behind. That's a great defense there by Hair Razor. Doug's going to take a look. Is he going to move up and try and get the job done and get that position back from Hair Razor? So he's still got this driver right here in Petrolhead to worry about, and he's still in this fight for the podiums here currently. Ooh, Hair Razor's getting spicy. He's going to take a look up the inside. Just Penelope's going to cover that off, and he's not going to grab that position. Petrol looking to get a run on Doug here. Just can't quite get it done, but he is right on the bumper of Doug Barrow. Oh, we have got a race on our hands today, folks. All right, look at that great group of BMWs just coming through those S's. Everybody's still in this fight. We got Pigums, we got Just Penelope, we got Hair Razor, we got Doug Barrow and Petrol here in an immediate battle for those podium positions. We move back through our field. That back group is led by Bo Snipe, and they're only about 1.5 seconds behind that front pack currently here. Type R here in 7th with Snozzer in 8th. We got Puzzlement in 9th, Pappy in 10th, Ibra in 11th, and Ghost here in 12th place. Let's go. Let's get the camera crew kicking it off here. And you can see how close this really is by this view. These drivers are pretty much nose to tail, 1st to 3rd place here. So what, 3/4 of a second separating the top 3 drivers at the moment. That's just Penelope looking up the inside of Pigums here. She's got the position coming into the corner, and it is going to be a lead change here on lap 2. As Just Penelope now jumps into the lead ahead of Pigums here, and Just Penelope doing what Just Penelope does, ladies and gentlemen, and controls the pace of the race. Pigums just lets her go by there, but he is not going to let her get away. We have seen a lot of this out of these two here, like I said, in the past few weeks. So this we're going to be keeping our eye on. Doug goes up the inside on Hair Razor here, and that's going to be a battle for 3rd, but no, he can't get it done. Hair Razor's going to defend it off. Now Petrolhead's going to take a look on Doug here too, as we're coming back into turns 1 and 2 on lap 3 here. It's going to be tough. If Doug can hang it out on the inside, he's going to have position on the next corner, and that is the case. Doug should be able to defend this position here. Petrolhead's going to look for a cutback, but he gets a little loose on exit there, and he's just not going to get it done. Doug squeezes him a little wide there to make sure he can't get his nose in there, and Doug's just going to keep that position from Petrolhead. Petrolhead takes a look, but he just doesn't have any room to stick it in there, and it is a healthy battle, and all this is doing is allowing this back group to catch up. Bo Snipe almost on the back end of Petrolhead here. Now it's 1.1 seconds. We got Type R tucked right in behind, and Snozzer is right hot on his heels. He is right there in striking distance. One little mistake from Type R, and it is going to be capitalization for Snozzer. Great line through there. Puzzlement is just behind these guys as well. 2.5 seconds. She's got Happy Pappy all over her here, with Ibra in 11th and Ghost here in 12th. So it's just Penelope leading the way here on lap 3. Here we go again, chat. Here we go again. So just Penelope, purple, and she is fastest on the racetrack right now with a 206.686 currently. That time we do expect to see drop down at some point throughout the race, obviously, as these drivers empty out the tanks a little bit and make their pit stop sequences. We're definitely going to see these times still continue to drop down a little bit. We did see 204s in qualifying, so there's still 2 seconds here that we can see these drivers easily get on track. Pigum's just tucked right in behind here, and he is not going to let her get too far away here, as he's on a purple sector as well. And we got Doug and Petrolhead now battling for 3rd place, so I'm not sure what's happened to Hair Razor here, but Doug currently in 3rd now, with Petrolhead in 4th. We've got Bo Snipe in 5th. We've got Type R in 6th. We've got Snozzer in 7th, and Hair Razor all the way back down to P8. So from 3rd to 8th place is Hair Razor, and that is devastating. 5 positions lost on whatever it was that happened there, and he has some work to do here, but it's only 6.5 minutes into the race. Plenty of time to make all that up. Puzzlement here in 9th place with Happy Pappy here in 10th. We've got Ibra coming around here. He's in 11th. And we've got Lone Ghost rounding out the field here. And I'm going to try something a little bit different for a second. And get rid of that because I forgot. That's better. Alright, I like. So, here we go. Just Penelope in the lead of the race. Doing a fantastic job here currently as she is leading the pace here today. You see Pigums though, he's right there. He hasn't let her get away at all. Doug and Petrohead are only about a second, maybe second and a half behind these two as well in 3rd and 4th place. So coming through the S's here, let's just watch how these drivers go around here. Now these cars are a little bit different, like I said, from our aerodynamic cars, our Group 3s, our Group 2s, our Group 1s, our Super Formulas, our LMPs, all those cars with high downforce. These cars don't really have a whole lot of downforce beside a little bit of body kitting that you're allowed to put on these cars. So really, to get these cars to stay efficient and smooth on the racetrack, it comes down to controlling that body roll. And the body roll control is super important to the stability of these, well, mom and dad driver style cars on the racetrack. So, so far, a lot of these drivers doing really well here early on in the races. We're on lap 4. It's just Penelope in the lead of this very young race here at the GTRC this afternoon. And she has opened up a little tiny bit of a gap there on Pigum, so she had a good sector through there. But you can see Pigums was in that slipstream, and it's just pulling them right back into her. So slipstream proving to be very powerful here in these cars as well. Doug Burrow here in 3rd place. He's closed that gap right back up as well. Cheers for Penelope. Hey, coming in with that thumbs up on the stream, Madeline. We appreciate you. Cody B coming in with that thumbs up as well. Hope you're having a fantastic day, brother. We got Petrolhead here in 4th place. We got Bo Snipe in 5th. So that little mistake from Hair Razor really making dividends for some of these drivers. Type R now up into P6 because of that mistake. Snozzer's in 7th. Pappy is in 8th. We got Puzzlement in 9th. And Hair Razor is now down to P10. So it is all unwinding currently here for Hair Razor right now on the racetrack. But like I said, lots of time left in this race. We got Ibra here in 11th place. And Lone Ghost just coming into the final sector here as well in 12th place. So we love seeing him come out and race week in and week out. It's fantastic stuff. Let's get the TV crew working here again. So you can see, oh, Doug making a move on Pigums now. So Doug now moving up into 2nd place there, and Pigums is like, all right, no, that's cool. You go ahead, do your thing, man. And he's just going to settle in there in 3rd place. Now we know Pigums is a very patient racer. He's probably not stressing right now. He's just like, yeah, just keep the pace. Don't let her get away, and I'm good here. But we'll see. It's just Penelope with 1 second lead, so she has broke the slipstream on these drivers, but they're definitely still in striking distance of grabbing that back, especially if they're going to work together and not battle too much here. That'll be plenty easy enough for them to catch back up to just Penelope in the lead. Petrohead also gaining here in 4th place, so again, still a very healthy 4-way battle for that lead at the moment. We got both Snipe and Type R. They're kind of in a group of their own right now, and they are trying to chase that front pack back down. Snozzer was on the back of these guys, but he's just lost touch with them just a tiny little bit, and really this is coming and relating down to minor little mistakes on the racetrack right now. Happy Pappy up into P8. Puzzlement right there in P9. So first competitive race of their GTRC career here for Puzzlement. She's doing fantastic so far. Hair Razor here in 10th, and he is starting to press. So with a little bit of pressure coming on the new driver here, Ibra in 11th place, and Lone Ghost here in 12th. So, whew. It's been a pretty spicy little race here early on. Definitely some good pace. You can definitely see the drivers are really starting to settle into these cars, and it's almost the end of the season. It's unfortunate, but boy, some great battling has been had here in the last couple of weeks at the BMW series. So just Penelope, ooh, getting a little wide there, but she doesn't get any spin out of that. She just manages to get it through there, and she's going to come in with a 205.5, but Doug's the fastest man on the track currently with a 205 flat. So, and you can see he is pressing. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there. That was very close as he came ripping into turn 2 there, but he did a great job avoiding the contact there, and he's just going to settle back in behind. So let's see what happens here. Doug definitely pressing though, and you know, I know this driver quite well, and I know Doug likes to lead the pace of the race, so we may see him try and put the pressure on Penelope here for the lead. We've got Pigums in 3rd place, and Petrohead still right there in 4th as well. He's just hanging out, chilling back there, waiting to see if anything kicks off in front of him. He can get some freebies maybe. We've got Bo Snipe here in 5th, and he is definitely working on catching that front pack. They have been doing a pretty good job, him and Type R, at doing so. So Type R here in 6th place, and he's starting to lose a little bit of touch with Bo Snipe, and that's kind of allowing Snozzer to start coming back in. Action Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are wondering who that is. Happy Pappy here in 8th place, and it looks like Hair Razor has gotten around Puzzlement there, so Hair Razor is up into P9 and now tracking down Happy Pappy here. Puzzlement is on the on the chase. Half-second track limit penalty. That'll slow the chase down a tiny little bit here, but half-second isn't too bad here. We got Ibra in 11th, and he's starting to close in, and it goes here in 12th, but it is just Penelope leading the way. She stole that lead on lap 2, and she's held on to it since. Oh, let's go, Lone Go, stay. So just Penelope in the lead of this race. Doug Barrow here in 2nd, Pigham's in 3rd. I love that livery. I can't stop just smiling every time I see that thing today. We've got Petrolhead here in 4th place, and a half-second penalty for him now as well for track limits. That's going to slow him down when he gets up into turn 11. That's a big straightaway run to turn 11 there. That's definitely going to slow him down a little bit, so that's unfortunate. That's going to cost a little bit of time going into that banked corner. We've got Bo Snipe in 5th. We've got Type R still in 6th, and he absolutely annihilates that corner. That was a beauty. We got Snozzer right there in 7th. We got Pappy and Hair Razor starting to close in here, so maybe a little bit of a battle now developing between these two drivers. As you can see, Hair Razor's really starting to close in on Pappy here. Cameraman's having a hard time. Oh, and Hair Razor goes in really deep. I don't think he expected Pappy to let him through there, so you can see Pappy with the signal light on there to tell Razor to go up the inside there. So Hair Razor with a very quick move through turns 1 and 2. There's Happy Pappy just let up a little bit extra into the corner to allow him to get through there. So Happy Pappy's just going to hand over that position to Hair Razor there. Maybe a little bit of strategy from Pappy happening here. He's going to get into that slipstream and let Hair Razor help him catch up to all the drivers in front and gain some positions himself. Might be a smart strategy here, as Hair Razor does have some pace today. He's just clearly had a couple of mistakes made on the racetrack. So Puzzleman here in 10th place, and she doesn't let these guys go anywhere. She has been hot on these guys' tail all race long. We have Ibra here in 11th place as well, and a little uncharacteristic from Ibra there, and 12th place is Ghost. So it is just Penelope here on lap 7. We're almost 15 minutes into this race now, and she is cruising. She's got about a 1.2 second gap on Pigham's, so Pigham's has worked his way back around Doug, so either Doug just made a mistake or Pigham's just got a good run and said, yeah, I think that the leader's getting a little too far away here now. I got to get around you. Sorry, later. I'm out. So Pigham's now trying to lose that 3rd place driver, Doug, a little bit, and Doug's still in slipstream range, but on the very edge of it here currently. We'll have to see and keep our eyes on that as it happens, but we're just coming in through the final sector of the racetrack here at Maggiore, and this is the final corner coming up. We're just Penelope's coming through here right now, and you just want to get some of that apex. She missed it a little tiny bit. It's going to send her a little extra wide, and that's a little bit dirty out there, so that can be a little bit dangerous if you get a little too far out into the marbles out there and pick some of that up on your tires. It might not allow you to quite set up turn 1 properly, but it looks like she had it handled quite well there. So coming into turn 2 right now, and you got to come out wide here, set over to the right side to set up for turn 3. Here you want to kind of late apex this corner, and by doing so that keeps you on the left side of the racetrack where you need to be to set up for obviously corner 4, and then that takes us into corners 5, 6, and 7, I believe it is. It's kind of a weird corner / corners. I just don't have the track map on this overlay right now, so my apologies, chat. I do have standings for everybody though. One thing at a time, you know? Alright, Pigham's in 2nd, Doug in 3rd. We've got Petrolhead in 4th. We got Bo Snipe in 5th. He is right there. He is right on Petrolhead's bumper here, basically now. He has really made up some time here. We got Type R in 6th. We've got Snozzer in 7th. Got Hair Razor in 8th. So Hair Razor's now starting to slowly but surely lose Pappy. Pappy is doing everything right now to stay right there with him as well. Ibra is up at the 10th here. It looks like he's just gotten around Puzzlement here, so we just missed that battle. That is unfortunate. And you can really take liberties on this racetrack here, and a lot of these drivers really not utilizing all of this racetrack yet, and that is costing them quite a bit of time on the racetrack. But again, maybe it's a little strategy here. We do have Pappy there. Looked like he might have made a little mistake coming up through the S's there. He was on the wrong, on the defensive line of the racetrack coming down the straight there, so might have bobbled that car a little bit coming up into that straightaway potentially, so that might have allowed Ibra and Puzzlement to gain some time on Pappy up ahead there. And Lone Ghost is doing a great job here in 12th place as well, as he's just coming into the middle sector of the racetrack. But it is just Penelope. She's starting ooh, they both go quite wide there coming into that final corner, her and Pigham's, as they come through, and it's going to be 9/10 of a second gap on lap 9 between Penelope and Pigham's here in first and second place. And then there's 2.3 seconds to Doug in third place. I know he's got that ever so unwanted track limit penalty there, so that's going to slow his charge down back up to that battle for the lead. But it's also going to allow Bo Snipe and Petrolhead, now Bo Snipe, who's gotten around Petrol here as well for fourth place, start to charge up. So 3.6 seconds is that gap currently from Bo to Doug. And we've got Petrolhead here in 5th, we've got Type R in 6th, we've got Schnauzer in 7th, we've got Hare in 8th, and starting to close in on those two drivers up in front. Happy Pappy is right there behind him, only 2 seconds off as well. Ibra still just ahead of Puzzlement here, so she has done a great job at making sure he doesn't get away. That battle's not over yet. We got Ghost just coming through the bank corner here, rounding out our field today. So 12 drivers start, 12 drivers still on track. We're almost at the 20-minute mark, so cars holding up well. It's a long series. Again, these aren't designed to be race cars. These are your everyday driving cars. You know, mom and dad going to work or taking the kids to school, or whatever the case may be, going to the grocery store style vehicles. You know, suited, of course, to drive on a circuit, but still very difficult to drive, and really they can put some street tires on these things and take them out and probably go park them in their garage at the end of the day if they wanted to. So Pigham's here in second place, we got Doug in third, we've got Bo in fourth, and Petrohead's right there still in fifth place on his tail. So these two haven't really let each other get away from each other, but Bo Snipe has really done a great job at working his way back up the field. We've got Type R here in sixth, he's got Schnauzer starting to close back in on him here, so these two are very close together at the beginning of the race, and now it seems like Action Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, aka, has done a great job at pulling back up into Type R and trying to rejuvenate that battle for sixth place. Hairraiser, he was in third place at the beginning of this race, and I'm not sure what happened to him. He definitely made a big mistake, cost him 5 positions, and they dropped 2 more, and now he's trying to fight his way back up through the field here, currently back up into 8th place. Happy Pappy here in 9th, he is slowly but surely starting to lose the back end of that BMW of Hairraiser in front of him, but still doing a really great job here on the racetrack today. We got Ibra in 10th and Puzzlement right there in 11th, right behind him, and Ibra didn't get the best of exits there, and you can see Puzzlement really starting to close in on him here. So if we're going to see 2-stop strategies, we're going to see pit stops happening here within the next couple laps from these drivers. If we're going to see 1-stop strategies, we'll start seeing the drivers pit at that 30-minute mark. So it's going to be interesting to see what all these drivers ought to do, but so far every driver's gone past pit lane on this lap. So if they're going to do a 2-stop, I do expect to see this going to be done on this next time around. Puzzlement doing a great job there, and Ibra really going wide there. You could do that on that corner. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to gain any time, however, though, but it gives you lots of runoff if you do make the mistake, at least into that corner exit. Ooh, and Lone Ghost in a healthy little battle here with the lead lap guys, and they're 3 wide coming in through the S's there. That was an interesting little development, and unfortunately we missed the beginning of that. Ooh, and Bo Snipe gets something wrong there. It looks like he just got a little loose on the back end of that car in that fight with Petrolhead there coming through the S's, and then absolutely just spun himself around there, and he's going to drop down a few positions here. That's going to give 7th to Hairraiser, and it's going to settle back into 8th place. Happy Pappy, however, is going to get around him there. He probably has some heavy damage on that race car from that spin there. But again, it's just a light damage model here, ladies and gentlemen, so it will go away. It's just going to cost him time until it goes away. Ibra now starting to gain in on Bo Snipe with Puzzlement right in behind here, and Lone Ghost in 12th place. I did say at the beginning of this broadcast, this is going to be a very interesting race. I wasn't kidding, ladies and gentlemen. I wasn't kidding. Miss Devious coming in with that heart on the stream as well. Much love. We appreciate everybody coming in and reacting. Please do make sure to like and share the stream at just one time for us if you have not already. That would be fantastic. It's something free that everyone can do to help the page grow, and we really do appreciate the extra support. All right. Just Penelope and Pigham's back nose to tail again, and we're going to see a whole lot of this, I think, throughout this race between these two. These two have had an extremely competitive battle over the last 4 weeks, so it looks like this is just carrying right back over into a 5-week battle between these two drivers on the racetrack, and it's a battle of strategy, it's a battle of consistency, it's a battle of making the move at the right time between these two, and it's been pretty fun to watch over the season. Doug here in 3rd place. This is our current championship points leader coming into round 5 here today. We'll bring that up for you guys here pretty soon. We got Petrolhead here in 4th place. We've got Type R in 5th, and Action Jackson is right on his tail here now. So Action Jackson doing a pretty good job at reeling Type R back in, but he is bringing Hair Razor along for the ride. Hair Razor has just been absolutely just taking tenths of seconds off all these drivers in that chase back towards the podium here, but I think he's going to need a little bit of pit stop help here to help him out with that as well, and we may have a battle here. No, I was just looking at those arrows. They were really close together. Doug's just coming through the bank corner. Petrohead's just coming in. So let's stay with these two here as we're coming down this long straight into turn 11, the bank corner here. And it is going to be Type R going to defend coming into this corner. And Type R is a very good defensive race car driver. So not surprised to see that defensive line coming in there. And he's just not allowing Action Jackson to get an easy way on the inside of that race car to try and get an easy move done. And well, that's racing, ladies and gentlemen. The object is to keep the car behind you. So it's going to require some defensive driving at times, and Type R is one of the best in GTRC series at doing so. So it's going to require a mistake. So Action Jackson's just settled in here, but what that's done is that's allowing Hair Razor to close in here. So Action Jackson's in a tough position now. He needs to either find a way around Type R, or it's going to become a 3-way battle very quickly here. So decisions definitely need to be made there. Play nice or battle, but Hair Razor is coming. Happy Pappy here in 8th place. We've got Ibra now up at the 9th, Puzzlement in 10th. We got Bo in pit lane here, so we don't see them working on the car here. They might have an issue with this BMW currently. Lone Ghost here in 12th. So it is just Penelope leading things for the last 9 laps now around the racetrack here, as she stole that position from Pigham's on lap 2 and hasn't given it back. So Pigham's on the chase here in that number 46 Cole Trickle car. Alright, Doug Barrow here in 3rd. He's 6 seconds now off those front 2 drivers. Petrolhead's about 5 seconds off of our 3rd place driver, Doug. And Action Jackson, who has now finally gotten around Type R here. So, interesting. Hair Razor's going to take a look up the inside. He just doesn't have a nose in there, so he's going to have to tuck back in. But Action Jackson has managed to get around Type R here, so great for Action Jackson. He can start to try and break that distance here a little bit, as Hair Razor is clearly going to be waiting to look for a position here. So Action Jackson keeps it right and tight, and Hair Razor starts fighting with Type R a little bit here to try and get around him. This could be very good for Action Jackson's race here and allow him to build a cushion. So here we go. Hair Razor is going to go up the inside as we come up into turn 11. This should be a job done, but that is not necessarily the case with this bank corner. You can really good exit depending on the lines you take here, but Hair Razor is just going to take the position easy from Type R coming into the bank corner there, and I think Type R just didn't really fight it there. He's just he's going to tuck into that slipstream, and he's just going to continue on down the track and continue this battle whenever he gets the opportunity to. So right now it's Hair Razor now up at the P6. He's trying to track Action Jackson down here in 5th, and he has him in his sights. Action Jackson went a little bit wide there. That's going to cost him a tiny little bit of time as Hair Razor's chasing. Let's jump on our hood cam here with Hair Razor as he tries to track down Action Jackson. Take a quick look behind there. He knows he's got lots of room to work with here right now. Action Jackson went a little bit wide there. That's going to be a little more time gained now by Hair Razor. Every little mistake by that driver in front is an opportunity for you to try and gain. Is he going to go up the inside here? He's going to get some fresh air, and let's see what happens. He is going to go up the inside here, and it is going to be Hairraiser getting the job done, but Action Jackson is definitely looking for a cutback opportunity here. He can't get it done. Hairraiser covering that cutback off very well coming into turn 3. It is now Hairraiser up into P5, so the charge from Hairraiser is definitely underway here. Action Jackson is still right there. He hasn't let Hairraiser go anywhere. Ooh, Hairraiser had a bobble there. That's going to be benefit to Action Jackson now, and that's allowed Type R to catch up just a little bit again. So here we go. Action Jackson's got the inside line on Hairraiser, so it is battle rejuvenated here. And let's see what Hairraiser opts to do. Is Hairraiser going to look for a cutback opportunity? Nope, he's just going to settle in. So a good, healthy battle happening right now between our 5th and 6th place drivers, Action Jackson and Hairraiser, as we're coming into these S's here. Let's jump onto the middle car, essentially, because what this has done is this has allowed Type R to really start to close back in on these two guys. And they had a nice little cushion from our 7th place driver there temporarily, but all this battling has just allowed that driver to close it right back up. So Hairraiser is going to be in the slip. I think he's not going to have enough time here to make a move, but he can definitely try to set up maybe something coming out of the exit of the bank corner, and you can see he's just going to close it up a little bit, try to get a good exit here, and just try to maintain that distance. And that's about what he did there. He didn't lose any time, he didn't really gain any time, so he's still leaving himself an opportunity here to set up something for Action Jackson somewhere in the near future. Right now he could just be chilling behind, studying that driver a little bit, looking for maybe a sector or a couple of corners on the racetrack that Action Jackson is just a little bit weaker on, that he can maybe try to take opportunity in that specific spot. It's always a learning curve when you're racing, especially against drivers on the racetrack in a competition. You want to know their weaknesses, their strengths. You want to know everything about your competition. So the drivers are always taking mental notes as they're driving behind and in front of drivers. So Action Jackson doing a fantastic job of staying ahead of Hairraiser here, however. So let's just keep moving down. It has drawn Type R back into the battle here, though. And it is a three-way battle now for 5th, 6th, and 7th place here as well. So interesting to see if these guys will play nice for a little bit, or if we're going to kick off here and start fighting again. I know I wouldn't want Type R in front of me in this situation, so really right now if I'm Hairraiser, I'm really trying to find a way to get around Action Jackson here currently on the racetrack. How do y'all guys and gals? Hope y'all are well. We are. Mr. Nolander Gaming up in the house, ladies and gentlemen, coming with that thumbs up on the stream as well. Our other broadcaster here at the GTRC, much love, my dude. Welcome in, buddy. Welcome in. Type R here in 7th place. We got Happy Pappy. He's doing fantastic here again today here. Currently sitting in 8th. Ibra's in 9th. We got Puzzlement in her first competitive race of the GTRC season as well here in 10th place. And we got Ghost in 11th. We got Bo looking like he's still having some issues with that BMW there. So he's got it sitting in pit lane. You can see that crew's taking a peek. They don't know exactly what the issue is with it yet currently, but I guess we'll see if we see that car back on track or not here before the end of the day. So just Penelope still very comfortably in the lead, and we're going to be seeing pit stops starting to happen now, ladies and gentlemen. There is definitely going to be a series of pit stops over the next 2 to 3 laps here, probably from the whole field. So typically if they're going to one stop, it's usually right at about that halfway point, as you can see on the, well, you can't see it on the bottom left hand side of the screen because my thing is covering it. Perfect. That was unintentional placement there. You can see there, you can't see there, but there's 29 minutes and 33 seconds into this race, so we're at the halfway point basically as they come into turn 1 and 2. I don't even know what their fuel is because you guys can see what I can see. So we have Doug coming into pit lane. He's got 11% fuel, so that gives us a little bit of an idea here anyways at fuel for these drivers. So he's going to be the first of our drivers to make the pit stop here, maybe looking for an undercut. We've got a whole gaggle of cars coming in behind. We got Action Jackson, Hairraiser, Type R pitting. Is Happy Pappy going to pit? No, he's going to continue on. Looks like Ibra's also going to continue on here as well. That is the case. What is Puzzlement going to do? Puzzlement is going to pit. Alone goes, I'm not sure yet. He may pit, and again, Snipe still trying to get that car fixed up there in pit lane. So, had a good race to start. How goes the race, my guy? Oh, well, it's been good as always, my dude. Oh, it's good as always. Having we might be seeing a last lap showdown potentially between these two drivers here. And that's the way it's kind of been sitting all race long. They've been within a second of each other. They just cannot get away from each other, these two, Piggums and Penelope. For 4 straight weeks now, we've had some incredible battles in the races here at the GTRC, and it doesn't look like it's going to be any different here tonight. So patience is but a virtue, and both those drivers are very, very patient. Petrolhead here in 3rd place. He's sitting in a pretty good position himself right now. Happy Pappy currently in 4th. Of course, with the pit stop sequences starting to happen, we got Ibra, who's in 5th, and then we have all our pit stops. So we have Doug coming out, Action Jackson, we got Type R, Hair Razor, Puzzlement in pit lane here right now. You can see she's just getting that car all fueled up. The Lone Ghost is still out, and they're still looking at that car for Bo here. So it is just Penelope, and I do suspect we're going to see the leaders pitting probably fairly soon here. Next lap or 2. So 5 cars that need to make a pit stop here, and then we'll see where everybody settles in after the round of pit stops is done, and then things start to get serious. This is when the drivers really start thinking about their end game, and we do have Penelope coming into pit lane, and Piggums has opted to go around one more time. So very interesting. So we got undercut from the rest of the field on the lead pack, and then we have Piggums going for the overcut on, well, the lead pack, because we're going to see Petrolhead come into pit lane. Are we going to see Pappy come into pit lane is the next question. Yes, we are going to see Pappy come into pit lane. I would assume we're going to see Eber come in as well, so there we go. Piggums is the only driver left to pit now at this point, so let's bring up some standings for everybody here real quickly, shall we? Boop. Alright, top left-hand side of the screen there is our current standings up to the round 5 here, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Ghost, I can't see them, they're so small. There you go. I know, chat, I know. Alright, I need to blow him up so I can see him too, don't worry. So, coming into round 5, ladies and gentlemen, it is Doug Barrow leading the championship with 60 points. He's got a 6-point lead over Apex Piggums, which is now just Piggums, ladies and gentlemen. In 2nd place with 54 points. Hair Razor is right there in the championship chase as well, in 3rd with 45 points. Sikkim, who's no longer in the series there, technically shouldn't be in the standings, I guess, anymore. So that does mean that Bo Snipe is currently sitting in 4th place and having a mechanical issue in pit lane for that driver with what's at stake right now. Not necessarily the best timing for that, but racing's racing. We got Penelope here just in behind Mr. Bo Snipe as well with 34 points. Ibra there with 33. Oliver with 31. Not in the race today though. Type R there with 28. We've got Tappa 27. We've got Super with 17. We've got Troen with 18. Action Jackson with 16 points. Bar with 14. Trackmaster with 8, which is aka Lone Ghost, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, you can see we've got lots of drivers that have raced so far this season, but that position in those top 5-6 spots very, very close still, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely lots on the line here for our drivers coming into the final round in 2 weeks time. All right. Pardon me. Ooh, I love when that happens. In for a quick like and just heading out. Eat before tonight's quality. Bon appetit, my dude. Kill coming in with that like, sure. Vic coming in with that like as well. So our race leader now in pit lane. We have just Penelope coming around here. Is she going to grab P1 from Piggums here? I believe that's going to be the case. We're just waiting. Oh, and Piggums comes out right there, and it's going to be side by side coming into turn 1, but Penelope's at race pace, so she's just going to slot back into the lead here as Apex Racing's Piggums comes out in P2. So nose to tail is Piggums and Penelope. Not surprised to see that, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Barrow here in 3rd place, and he is 9.7 seconds behind those two. Petrolhead is right there. He's about 9 seconds behind Doug. And Action Jackson and Hair Razor battling for 5th place here, and these two are right back at it. Hair Razor's up the inside, but Action now on the inside of the corner here. He's definitely got position. And it's pretty hard to get a job done on the outside of turn 2 there, so Hair Razor has no choice but to tuck back in behind Action Jackson and wait for another opportunity to try and set another move up. So great job there by Jackson to maintain his position on the outside of turn 1 to give him the ultimate line going into turn 2. Hair Razor on the hunt. He's looking for some top 5 here. We got Type R not too far behind here in 7th place. We got Pappy in 8th. We've got Ibra in ninth and really taking a lot of that racetrack. He's not really helping him find any time there, but he's surviving. He's surviving. Puzzlement here in 10th place. We got Ghost in 11th, and it does seem to look like that Bo Snipes car is eventually going to find its way behind the wall here before the end of this race today, as that issue in that car is clearly a little more serious than initially thought when they come into pit lane. So just Penelope in the lead with Apex with Pigums right there in behind in second place. It takes a little bit of adjusting sometimes when there's changes made from our drivers. My bad. We got Doug Burrow here in P3 as well. We've got Petrol here in 4th. We've got Snozzer in 5th. And he still, Action Jackson, he still has Hair Razor definitely hot on the chase here. So I don't know if anything's going to happen immediately here, but I think if there's a mistake made by Action Jackson, Hair Razor's definitely there to pounce on it. And let's just stick with these two here as they're coming through the final sector of the racetrack here. And Harris has done a really great job at just getting himself into a position maybe to use Slipstream here and get up the inside going into turn 1 again. Let's see if he utilizes the same set of corners to try and get this position on Action Jackson. We've seen him try to do the move into turns 1 and 2 here last time, and we're going to see much of the same thing. He's going to pull up side by side with Action Jackson here. Let's see if he can hold the position coming into turn 2 this time. He's going to have to go in a little late on the brakes to make this stick, and he does manage to make that stick. So it is Hair Razor getting the position done on Action Jackson. So it's going to be P5 for Hair Razor and 6 for Action Jackson, but Action Jackson's having none of that. He's like, no, you give that right back. Hold on a second here. We ain't done yet, mate. We're going to continue this. So he is absolutely on the move, and he is pressing. And you can see Petrohead's just up ahead there. So there is an opportunity here for both those drivers maybe to gain another position yet. So they don't want to battle too heavily here either. Type R in 7th place with Pappy in 8th. And we see Ibra there in 9th. And I think that's just his line around that corner. He's just been taking it really wide all day long there. We've got Puzzlement coming up on Ghost here right now, so she is just coming into turn 1 there, and she just gets through nice and tidy and clean here. She's going to roll it around turn 2 here, and we should have the inside line here as we're coming into turn 3. I think she's just a little bit hesitant, but she's managed to get the job done there. Lone Ghost letting off the throttle to let her go through there. Alright, so great job there by those two. And unfortunately, it looks like one car down here today, so it's just Penelope here in 1st place, and it is Pigham's very close behind here in 2nd. Doug Barrow in 3rd. We've got Petrol here in 4th. We've got Hair Razor in 5th. We've got Snozzer in 6th. We've got Type R in 7th. Pappy is closed right in here on Type R as well. There's going to be a potential battle happening between those two very soon. Ibra here in 9th with Puzzlement in 10th. Again, Ghost in 11th and a car down. So let's stick with these two here for a minute. We're not going to see an immediate battle between these two, I don't think, up in the lead, unless one of these two drivers makes a mistake. In this case right now, it would be Penelope. She's leading to make the mistake to give Pickham's an opportunity to go around. But I think right now this is a matter of keeping Penelope close enough to him to try and make that strategic move when he's ready to do so. We're at the 40-minute mark, so we are 2/3 of the way through this race here currently, and these two are still nose to tail. So interesting to see. Ooh, is Pickham's going to go up the inside here? I think Pickham's was thinking about it there, but he just backs out. Now's not the time. He's deciding that's not the right place. It's not the time to make that move. He did take a look, though. He did think about it, it looked like, but opted out of it there right coming into the entry. So maybe a little mind games being played there by Piggums. Maybe he was going to make Penelope think he was going to take it up the inside there and see how she was going to react to that. Maybe she decides to defend that, and that gives him a better line into the corner. But he is going to go up the inside coming into turn 11 here, and that is not what I meant to do. And it's going to be side by side coming through the bank corner here. And you can see just Penelope holds it on the outside. And she keeps position from Piggums on the outside of the bank corner. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I told you, you can fight for a position on the outside of some of these corners. And just Penelope absolutely putting on a clinic on how you defend from the outside of a corner. And managing to hold Piggums off. So there we go. Piggums took a look. He tried. But Penelope had the answer. Oh boy. This is just a little dose of what's going to happen. Ooh, we're in for a good one, chat. Oh, and Hair Razor has now gotten into 4th place here. You can see Petrolhead is right on the back end of Action Jackson now. So Action Jackson's moved up into P5. So Petrolhead maybe making a couple of mistakes here. That's cost him position on the racetrack. And now he's in a battle of a lifetime here. Currently, it looks like he's going to get up the inside here. He's going to have position on Action Jackson. So he's going to move back up into 5th place there. But Action Jackson gets that cutback done. And it is going to be Action Jackson taking 5th place back, coming out of the 2nd corner here. And he is just going to hold Petrolhead to the outside of this next corner here. That is ultimately the best thing to do here. Get a nice little cut on that curb, get a good power out here, and that is the case. Almost a little contact between those two there, but Action Jackson managing to keep the position, and Petrolhead here maybe looking to go up the inside. That is going to be the case here. So it is Action Jackson and Petrolhead here for position into turns 1 and 2. And Action Jackson with a great defense there, but he gets it wrong. He gets a little bit wide coming out of turn 2. That's going to give, I can't get it right here right now. It's going to give Petrolhead a little bit of a run here, and it gives him the inside line. But no, Action Jackson just keeps it out there enough, keeps it just deep enough into the corner where he doesn't allow Petrolhead to get his nose inside. And it is Pappy now on Type R here as well in behind. So we got 2 very healthy battles on the racetrack here right now. Plus we still have 1st and 2nd place to keep our eye on here as well. So things are getting very, very spicy. And you can see Petrolhead's car is very, very loose compared to the rest of the cars. So he must have a little bit of a different setup going on here to suit his driving style, obviously. But Action Jackson's just doing all the right things, putting his car in all the right places right now, and Petrolhead's finding it very difficult to get around him. But in the meantime, that's allowed Hair Razor to just absolutely drive away. He's like, all right, got some clean air and a big gap to make up. 19 seconds for Hair Razor to make up to get 3rd place back. So Hair Razor had 3rd place early on in the race. He had something happen to him. He went down to 10th place, and he's worked his way back up into P4, 19 seconds from P3. Can he close up on the front drivers? Type R in 7th, and Happy Pappy right in behind him in 8th place. And Happy Pappy has been closing in and closing in and closing in, and now he's caught up. So now Happy Pappy has to try and find a way around Type R. We know Type R is very good at defending, so this is going to be a good fight between these two guys. You can see Pappy's going to go on the outside here. He's going to give it a shot, look for a cutback. Can he get inside? No, he just couldn't get a nose in there. That was a great attempt at the old switcheroo through that corner. We just seen it happen not too long ago from a couple other drivers. It worked out. Didn't quite work out for Pappy, but some great defending there from Type R. And you can see he is aware that Pappy is there, and he is lurking, and he is looking. So yeah, we can already see Type R thinking about going defensive here coming into turn 1 and 2. He's going to opt to take a semi-defensive line coming into the corners here, and he's just going to ensure that Pappy doesn't get a run on him here. So, got a little battle. That's allowing Eber to catch up. Puzzlement here in 10th, and Lone Ghost in 11th, and 1 man down. So it is still Penelope and Pigums, and boy, oh boy, that gap is close, 0.3 of a second. Pigums is not letting her gain a millimeter right now. I can imagine the pressure felt by these two drivers here currently right now. More than well aware of each other's pace and each other's skill level on the racetrack. Yeah, this is some tough racing right here for these two drivers. It may not look like it to us at home watching, but these two drivers are working very, very hard right now. Doug Barrow here in 3rd place, and not saying the rest of them aren't working very hard either, ladies and gentlemen. Of course they are, but the intensity of the driving that those top 2 have right now compared to the rest of the field, yeah. Oh yeah, I can just imagine how they're feeling right now behind the wheel. We got Hair Razor here in 4th place. We got Type R up into 5th. We got Pappy up into 6th. So Snozzer getting it wrong there. He's going to drop a couple of positions. So Action Jackson losing a little bit of time coming out of the S's there. Ibra here in 8th place with Puzzlement in 9th. That's going to give Ghost 10th. And I think we lost a driver. Who'd we lose? I think we lost Petrolhead. Ladies and gentlemen. We've got Just Penelope here in first place. We've got Piggums in second. We've got Dugborough in third. We've got Hairraiser 21 seconds, so he's not closing the gap at all. We got Pappy up ahead of Type R now, so Pappy has gotten around Type R, so it's P5 for Pappy. It's Type R is P6. We've got Snozzer here in P7. Ibra here in P8. We've got Puzzlement in P9 now, and Ghost up into the top 10 here now, and one car down, half-second track limit penalty on top of it all as well. So right now I think the healthiest battle on the track is between first and second place currently. So we're 3/4 of the way through this race. We have 14 minutes remaining here, so we're going to see about 7 more laps, 7 more times around the racetrack here today from our BMW E30 drivers. So Just Penelope in the lead, Piggums chasing. Dugborough here in third place, pardon me, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Hairraiser here in fourth. Happy, Pappy, and Type R battling for fifth place. Type R gets up the inside of Pappy there, and when Pappy gets a little bit wide, so Type R is going to get the position coming into the S's, so Type R back up into fifth place. That's going to put Pappy down into sixth. We've got Snozzer here in seventh. We've got Ibra in eighth. We've got Puzzlement here in ninth. We've got Lone Ghost in 10th, and a driver down, and one disconnected, one behind the wall. We're not sure what happened there to Petrolhead, but race over for that BMW driver here, and he was having a pretty good race, so it's unfortunate. So it is Piggums and Penelope, and they have closed in on Lone Ghost there quickly, and of course he just lets him get through there, and battle ensues. Ooh, Doug almost got it wrong coming out of the exit, coming into the start-finish line straight there. We're going to go take a look at Doug here in just a second. Ooh, a little slide there from Piggums as he comes around turn one, but he doesn't seem like it cost him any time there. And this is going to be a battle. This is going to be a battle between first and second. Here we go. Doug in third place. We got Hairraiser in fourth, and he's got a pretty good gap on these two drivers. Type R and Happy Pappy in a very active battle here right now. A little bit of space between the two of them, but I don't think this battle's far from done. Action Jackson's right there in seventh. He's not that far behind these two drivers now. He's really starting to reel them in. We got Ibra here in eighth, and 4 seconds from the drivers up in front, so there's definitely possibility here, plenty of possibility here for Ibra, and then he's got a big gap in behind. Puzzlement here in ninth with Lone in 10th, and two drivers down and out here today. So started with 12, down to 10 on the track, still currently racing. Hey, let's go, says Cody. How you doing, my guy? I hope you're having a fantastic day. But it is Just Penelope and Piggums, and then nose to tail for the last 16, 17 minutes now has been these two drivers. You haven't been able to fit a car in between these two drivers for the last half of the race, and Piggums is going to try and stick it on the outside here, and Just Penelope is just like, nah, it ain't happening. Nice try, though. That's twice now Piggums has tried to get something done into the bank corner, and Penelope is just not having any of it today. So Just Penelope is very solid going out of that bank corner, clearly, as Piggums has tried an inside and an outside move on her now into that corner without prevail. So Just Penelope just has that corner figured out. So here we go. This is just a dose. This is just going to be a taste. This is just a taste. This hasn't even started kicking off yet, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to come down to the last couple laps between these two drivers. These drivers are going to battle slowly but surely and gently for a little while. They're going to poke at each other. They're going to take a look when they can. They're going to try and, set each other into a mistake. And then at the last lap or two, it's going to be, it is going to be a battle. It is going to be a battle. That I promise. And I can't wait for it. I'm trying to save my voice because I know it's coming. I can feel it in my bones. And Doug here in third place, and he is starting to close in. 7.2 seconds. He was 9 seconds behind. Hairraiser continues to just lose time on that third place driver here right now. So Hairraiser's drive here currently is for fourth place. It looks like we have Type R here in fifth, and he has some pressure from in behind. Again, Pappy is still right there, 1.7 seconds. And I gotta tell you, I am awfully impressed with Happy Pappy's driving here lately and the improvement in his pace. He is looking fantastic on the racetrack. We got Action Jackson here in seventh. We've got Ibra in eighth. We've got Puzzlement in her first race of the season here in ninth. She's got those four-ways on right now, but she's doing a pretty good job here. Lone Ghost here in 10th as well, and he is back on track. We love to see that as well. And, well, a couple guys in the pits. That's just the way it goes. Cars break, chat. Cars break. but it is Penelope, and fastest lap on the track currently right now still belongs to Doug with a 2:05.071. But right now these two drivers are looking at stealing that away, so some pretty good consistency here by both these drivers, and I don't even know what to say. It's just it has been an absolute pleasure to commentate these two particular drivers this season. They are very, very, very closely paced drivers, so it provides for some good battling. And oh, there we go. Pickett's gonna take a look. He's gonna try and get it done here through the horseshoe. So let's see if he can get it done. It's side by side. Penelope has been so strong all day long in these corners, and she is not letting Piggums gain a millimeter. She's gonna fight this side by side through these final S's here, and she's still gonna have position coming into the final corner. Piggums is throwing everything he's got at just Penelope right now, and she has got an answer for all of it, and she is going to hold the race lead here, and they're just coming up to Petrolhead here right now, so he is on track. He's just not showing up on my list apparently, so that's good to know. So it is just Penelope and Piggums, and she still has the lead on Piggums, so she managed to hold that side by side on the outside through that final sector. Ladies and gentlemen, just Penelope, give this girl a round of applause, because she can drive. Wow. Holy moly. That is a clinic on how you defend right there on the outside, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta say, I am so highly impressed with the driving of these two drivers today. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Happy Pappy closing in on Type R. This battle's not over yet either. Action Jackson's starting to close in on this. This may become a very quick three-way battle here. Ibra's not too far off either. And Lone's coming in for some fuel and some tires, it looks like there. He's got 7% fuel left in that BMW. So it's Penelope. It's Piggums. 8 minutes remaining. It's game on. It's game on. Penelope right now, this is the biggest gap I've seen between these two drivers since the pit window, at 0.4 of a second. So Piggums might just be sitting back here for a second, reassessing the situation here. He's thrown some good positional moves at just Penelope here over the last couple of laps, and she has responded very well to every one of them. So this is going to be a very, very good fight to the end here. I know the second we leave it, it's going to kick off, but we got to keep our eye on what's going on here, as well as Pappy and Type R are nose to tail here as well in 5th and 6th place, and that's drawing Action Jackson back into the fight here as well. So it took a little bit of time for Pappy to close back in on Type R here, but boy, he is closed in when it counts the most with 7 minutes remaining in the race. So Action Jackson here in 7th with Ibra in 8th. Puzzlement here in 9th. Ooh, got a little bit wrong there, and maybe the blue flag panic a little bit there from her. 3rd place driver Doug Barrow closing in as well. We got Axel coming in with that thumbs up. How you doing, Axel? Drivers will have to work through lap traffic. That can make or break a race sometimes. Good call from Miss Devious. What's up? Hey, what's up going? How you doing, Axel, brother? We're just doing some great racing here as always in GT45 and GTRC, my guy. It's just Penelope, though, putting on a clinic today on how to defend a racing position in the race lead, because Piggums has, as I said, put in some quality attempts to get around just Penelope over the last couple of laps, and she has just done an amazing job at saying, no, not today, not happening. So we're got 6 minutes left. It's going to start kicking off between these two very, very soon. And Doug here in 3rd place. He's gotten around Petrol there. We got Hair Razor here in 4th. We've got Type R there in 5th. And we got Pappy in 6th. He's going really wide as Action Jackson took a look up the inside there. So it's going to be Action Jackson now up into 6th. Pappy into 7th. And Ibra in 8th. Puzzlement here in 9th. And we got Ghost in 10th. So it's been some good racing here. Type R still in 5th place. So Action Jackson may have put a little wrench in the charge of Happy Pappy perhaps there, and you can see how close these three drivers are now. So there's definitely some battles going to be happening here, but we definitely got to get back up to the lead here. This battle for 1st and 2nd place with just 5.5 minutes remaining. This battle is really going to start to heat up. You can see Piggums is starting to close in a little bit here. He's starting to assess when he can try and make his next attempted move here, and with how well Penelope's been defending so far today, it may take a couple attempts from Piggums to try and get around her, and it still may not be successful. So just keep the pressure on and try to draw that driver into a mistake, or try to trick him into something that you want him to do. You know that it's all a game right now between first and second place here. It's all a big game now. It's all a mind game. It's all, oh, I'm going to go here. Nope, tricked you. I'm not going to go here. Oh, maybe I'm going to go here. Oh, nope, I'm going to go over here instead. It's a game of inches now. It's a game of inches now as they're nose to tail coming up to start finish line to start lap 27, and immediately going on the defense is Penelope, and she knows better. She knows better. She's like, I cannot let this guy get inside. He's going to try and make a move, and it is nose to tail, and we're definitely sticking with this. The pressure is on. Piggums is looking for a race win here. Penelope's looking for a race win, and it is only between these two drivers right now. So here we go. This is going to be 2.5 laps to go, maybe 3 laps to go total here, including this lap. So this is going to start getting very, very juicy here. Let's see if Piggums goes and takes a look up the inside here. Nope, he's just going to stick in behind coming into the braking zone here. The objective is obviously not to lose any pace right now on the first place driver, just Penelope, as he's trying to chase her down there. He took a little bit of a wider exit, try and gain a little extra speed coming up the hill here, and he just tucked in behind that pink car right now. And it's battle on. It's battle on. It doesn't look like it, chat. They're battling right now. Piggums is looking for a way around just Penelope. He's been sitting behind her for about 48 minutes of this race, and I think he's probably had enough of looking at the back end of that pink bumper. So can he get the job done? Just Penelope is a worthy opponent. She's not just going to give it to him. He is going to have to earn it, and the way she's driving today, earn that and then some, potentially. So she has been looking very solid all day long behind the wheel of that BMW. Doug in third, 10 seconds. He's done a really good job of pacing the leaders. I think if he came out of pit lane at the same time as these two drivers, he'd still be in this fight with these two drivers as well. He really has not lost any time right from the beginning of this second stint on these drivers. Unfortunately for him, he just came out with a gap and hasn't been able to make the time up. So he is still fastest man on the racetrack, which is a bonus point for Doug Bro. And being that championship's point leader, that is a big, big point for him. But right now, the two of the people chasing him for that championship standings are these two drivers, Penelope and Piggums. And Piggums is only 6 points behind Doug currently in the championship standings. So what happens here for Piggums is super important. Second place is still good, but first place is a little bit better. So, ooh, a little big wiggle there from Penelope, but thankfully Piggums was a little wide on the exit there as well, and he's not going to be able to capitalize on that. And we're going to see a battle now, ladies and gentlemen. We're definitely within 2 laps to go here. It's going to be this one and one more by the time they get back around, and it's going to be race over. So it is battle on between our race leader, just Penelope, and second place driver Piggums. And here we go. They're going to come around. We're going to go through a quick run through, make sure we're not missing. Action Jackson, Happy Pappy have closed back up on Type R there as well. So there may be some more battles happening here on this racetrack yet. We have Penelope, though, in the race lead, and she's broken free just a little bit from Piggums there. She's opened that gap up more than we've seen probably in the last 10 minutes of the race here. So good for Penelope, bad for Piggums, but Piggums still in that slipstream. And can he get a run coming into the bank corner? It doesn't seem to matter where he tries to get around Penelope in this corner. She just has an answer for it. So she's semi-defensive going in. She's going to tuck right back into the optimal racing line for the corner to get the best exit she can. She knows she needs that exit to keep Piggums off, and Piggums is right there out of the exit. He is right on that back bumper of just Penelope, and here we go. 1 lap showdown for a race win coming up, chat. We ready for this? I don't know if I'm ready for this, but here we go again. Piggums, Penelope for the race win. Round 5 BMW Series at Lago Maggiore Grand Prix circuit. It's going to come down to this last final lap. Oh, it's going to be a doozy. It is going to be a doozy. It's close on that timer. A lot of these drivers may not get back around in time here either. So here we go. Last lap for Piggums and just Penelope, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a 1-lap showdown for the race win here. She is straight on the defense, and he is going to go on the outside. He's not going to give her the optimal turn in this time. He is going to battle. Here we go. Battle for the race lead between Piggums and Penelope, and it is all going to kick off. We have Lone Ghost up in front here. We do have some lap traffic coming into factor here. Is Doug going to get another lap? Doug does get another lap. It is going to be very close for Hair Razor whether or not he gets another lap. He will not get another lap. It will be a 4th place finish here for Hair Razor as he comes around, and we do need to get back up to that battle for the lead. So I want to give these guys their camera time here, but we're going to have to get back up to what's going on the lead here. We got Hair Razor coming around in 4th, and we're going to just jump on board with our race leader here, and it's just Penelope and Piggums as they're coming up into the S's. It's a great job there by Lone Ghost just to let these two fight, and they are doing exactly that. So half a racetrack remaining for these two drivers. It's Type R in 5th, Action Jackson in 6th, it's Pappy in 7th. Congratulations to those drivers. It's going to be Ibra coming out here in P8 today, and it's between these two. We got to stick with this fight. We don't want to miss any moves. We don't want to miss any battles here. This is where all the action on the racetrack is right now. And Doug's just on a victory pace lap here as he's 10 seconds behind these drivers. But it's Penelope. She's been looking good all race long. Piggums is trying to get a look. He's got upside. It's going to be a drag race. So here we go. Piggums has been trying to find a way around her for quite a few laps now. We're going to go side by side up into the S's. No, Penelope's going to tuck right back up in front here. And Piggums is running out of opportunities here to find a way around just Penelope. He's only got 4 corners remaining, and it is going to be game over for Piggums here today. And it's just Penelope. 3 to go, 3 corners to go, and just Penelope still in the lead as we come around that corner. We got 2 corners to go. Here we go. We're going to come around this sweeper. We got 1 corner to go and a little bit of a drag race opportunity. Piggums is not close enough here. It's all going to come down to exit, entry and exit, entry and exit. Piggums is going to take it as wide as he can. She's going to take as much of that track as she can to block it off, and she does a great job. He is running out of time, and it's going to be Penelope for the win. Piggums in a very, very close 2nd place, and it's going to be Doug rounding out our podium here today in P3. And what a great battle between Penelope and Piggums up there for the race win again this week. Whew, those two are becoming very, very healthy competitors here on the racetrack in this series, and Doug's going to take home that P3 as he just slows her down at the end of the line. We got Hair Razor 4, Type R in 5th, Action Jackson in 6th, we've got Pappy in 7th, we've got Ibra finishing 8th, we've got Puzzlement in her first race of the season coming in 9th place here, we got Ghost in 10th, we've got a DNF here for Bo Snipe, and I believe Petro had finished ahead of him. I think Petro was still on the racetrack, so we may be seeing the old disappearing car routine coming back here in Gran Turismo potentially. But that was some good racing right there by our top 2 finishers, and congratulations to them. That was a pretty great fight, I gotta say. So first things first, a little bit of savage. All right, unofficial results here, ladies and gentlemen, for round 5 of our BMW E30 series on the screen in front of you here, and it does belong to just Penelope with the race win. Piggums literally right in behind 2nd place. Doug Burrow a little bit behind there for P3. Hair Razor in 4th place with Type R finishing behind in 5th. Action Jackson in 6th. We have Happy Pappy in 7th. We have Ibra finishing up in 8th. We got Puzzlement in 9th with Ghost in 10th, and it's going to be Petrohead ahead of Bo Snipe, I think, as far as this goes, because Petrohead did finish the race. So yeah, little game glitch there, so my results might not be officially unofficial, but that is unofficial here, ladies and gentlemen. So that was some good racing by all the drivers here thus far in this race. But I mean, again, just Penelope and Piggums, they just never those two are very, very solidly in a battle here. So all right, we got our rate up coming from our race winner here, and we got Doug in the interview room. We'll just wait to see if Piggums pops in, and then we'll get talking to our drivers. So let's send it back to our track loop here of Maggiore. So a little bit of love here for the racetrack. Yeah, huge thank you, of course, to all the men and women volunteers here at Lago Maggiore, allowing us to abuse their racetrack for basically 3 weeks to test and tune for 2 different series, and at the end of it, it was some really great racing here at Maggiore. Maggiore broke some hearts of some of the drivers like it always does, and some drivers are coming out with some pretty big smiles on their faces. They load those cars back up into their trucks and get ready for finale in 2 weeks time. So one more time for these BMWs around the racetrack, and I gotta tell you, it's going to be very, very close in those standings. for that top spot coming into round 6. So there is a lot on the line for lots of these drivers coming into the finale here in 2 weekends' time. So it's about to get really interesting. So I'm just going to make a couple volume adjustments, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, you just heard some of them right there. And we're going to go talk to our third place finisher. Oop. All right. Thanks for being here, gentlemen. Welcome in, and great racing out there. I just want to start off by saying great job to all our drivers on track, to all the men and women on track today. That was some fantastic racing out there, and good solid racing had by everybody. Lots of healthy battles in the mid-pack all the way through to the front of the race. But at the end of the day, we can only name 3 podium finishers. So those 3 podium finishers are Doug Barrow finishing P3, Pigham's finishing 2nd place, and Penelope finishing in P1. So we're going to start off with Doug Barrow here, and he's our championship's point leader coming into round 5 here today. It is a very close fight here between him and the driver that finished ahead of him here today, but only separated by 6 points in the championship standings. So congratulations on a really great drive today. Another solid podium finish here for you today, and talk about your race a little bit.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. You can hear me, yeah? Just because I've been messing around with my phone.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, it was a great race. I was gutted about quali. That's the fastest lap I've managed to put in this car in qualificate for the quali lap. And then I think Piggy got his fastest lap he's managed to put in on the quali lap as well. So I was like, oh no. And then I jumped the start. So bad start of the race. It was tight early on, but it's the age-old issue for me of tyre wear. I picked up a penalty which would drop me back as I was losing time anyway. In the last 10 minutes of each sector, tyre wear kicks in, I start hemorrhaging time. And that last lap, making it to the lead lap, which I'm very happy I did with no front tyres. So it was a great race. I knew I was hoping to get a better start and try and gap early and then go into like a fuel save mode. I had plenty of fuel, but just short shifting, you know what I mean? But yeah, great race. Well done to Pig and Penny. And I think Penny beat Pig and I got the fastest lap. So I've saved myself a few points lost, or a point lost on Pig at least. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, happy race, good race.
Absolutely. And I mean, we only got one more week now before we crown our BMW champion here this season. So, as I was just saying to the viewers before we jumped into the podium chat here, it's going to be very, very close in the standings, especially between the top 4 or 5 drivers here running into round 6. So, what's on your mind now getting ready for finale here for the BMWs in 2 weeks' time?
It's a track I seem to do okay in. We haven't had a pad-friendly track except for Red Bull in these 6, or what will be these 6 races. So I'm going to be struggling with tyre wear on that race as well. But last season I did an amazing job in the last mini-season in the MX-5s around this circuit. So fingers crossed I'll be able to at least stay within the points gap to win the mini-season. That's what I'm hoping for.
Absolutely, and again, just some great racing today. Now, you were in a pretty comfortable position. You were only about 10 seconds off the leaders for the majority of that final stint, and then, as you were saying, as your tires started to wear down, you just started to lose a little bit of pace on the front two there, but had a pretty healthy gap on the 4th place driver. So, happy with the result overall here today?
Yeah, well happy. I mean, I came out of the pits for the second stint about 10, 11 seconds behind the 2 in front. Managed to pull it back to about 5.5-ish, and then I started losing time again. So I'm properly happy with that. I think if I hadn't, like I said, if I hadn't had a bad start, it would have been a slightly different race for me, maybe a little bit closer at the end. But when I saw the gap behind me, I was like, okay, I'm comfortable. I just want to make the last lap, because if the car behind me makes the last lap as well, I'm in trouble. So that was my only thinking, was on that last lap, looking where I am, knowing how long's left, seeing how far they are behind, and just I was comfortable with the fact that they weren't going to make the lead lap. So it was like it was a blessing for me. I could just relax on that last lap.
Absolutely. In a sense, it gets a little bit of a victory lap for yourself because you didn't have any immediate pressure at that point in the race. So,
Yeah,
nonetheless, again, another great race for you here. And one more time for one more hour from Dugborough to lock down another star on the side of that car. So we'll have to see
fingers crossed.
what Doug
Fingers
has for
crossed.
us in finale night. And shout outs and thank yous, my man.
Well, I'd like to thank the new drivers that have come in and saw the race through. They did a great job of blue flag areas, just without hurting themselves too much, moving across and allowing room. So that was fantastic. All the drivers that have got involved, the drivers that have jumped in and said, "Look, can I join in this one?" We're like, "Yeah, there's space. Join in," which made today possible. Um, yeah, and obviously a big shout out to the two in front of me, Pig and Penelope, and yeah, thanks to yourself for the commentary and the work you put in. It's brilliant. I appreciate it. And yeah, can't wait for 2 weeks' time. I'm going to struggle next week, but I can't wait for 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, finale night's always a great night. So, some great racing from you as always. And congratulations on a third place finish today. And thank you for taking some time to talk with us.
Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there we go. Doug Barrow, our third place driver and championship points leader coming into round 4 today. Should hold that lead going into the final round, but our second place finisher, Pigham's here, might have something to say about that championship first place spot moving into the final round, as you definitely had a great race today. And for you, it was a tough one. I mean, you were there, you were fighting for first place all race long, but just Penelope had the answer for you every time you tried to make that quality positional move. She just seemed to be able to defend it off. Let's talk about the first stint and just your strategy coming into the first half of the race, and then we'll move into the second half of the race.
Well, first half, I was just trying to save as much fuel as I could in hopes that I could maybe get an extra lap out of it and maybe try something in the second half of the race because I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of fuel saving to the race or even tires for that matter. It was mostly a sprint, so I figured try to create any type of an advantage I could, but didn't matter what I threw at her today, just none of it worked.
Absolutely, and we've seen 3 really quality attempts at the turn 11 in the second half of the race with about 15 minutes or less going there. You stuck one in on the inside in a great positional move, and she just hung it out there on the outside and still managed to outrun you on the exit. And then a couple laps later, you tried to get the outside, the old switcheroo going, and again she just had a great response. It seemed like every time you got that position on her, she just managed to just outdrive that car and hang it out on the inside. So pulling a little bit of magic tricks out of her back pocket here today, maybe throwing a little bit of surprise at Piggins. Expecting to see that out of Penelope. I mean, you two have been fiercely competing for a few weeks now on the track. So what's it been like racing so tightly and so closely all race long, with just waiting for your opportunity to try and get that race lead?
When it comes down to those type of races, and there's half a second left after an hour between the two, is every little bit counts. So just got to keep working away at it and keep trying to find another way to get around because it's getting harder and harder every race.
Absolutely. And do you think that this is just a matter of another driver studying another driver throughout practicing and throughout previous races? I feel like yourself and Penelope have really been researching each other, really trying to find your strengths and weaknesses so you could try to capitalize on each other on that. Is that the case here as we're leading into the final round?
I would have to say it at least seems that way anyway. It's just getting closer and closer every race. So this last race coming up should be a good one.
Absolutely.
It's going to be interesting for sure.
It's unfortunate that Penelope missed, I think, what was it, the first 2 races of the season, because I think she would be right there pressing the issue just a couple of points off in the middle of this big championship fight here as well. But I mean, again, you just showed great pace out there. It's not easy to drive behind another car, not alone for 2 or 3 laps without making a mistake. Piggham's did it basically all race long. Again, she took that spot from you there on lap 2, and you were content, as we could tell there, just to chill in there, and I figured that was a part of your strategy, was not to put any unnecessary wear and tear on your race car in the first half, and and then start picking your battles in the last half. And that's kind of the way it's been for you for most of the series so far, and it's been working really well. But when you came out of your pit stop and you were right behind Penelope, I mean, you two were just incredibly close all race long. I don't think that gap grew any bigger than 4/10 at any point in the last 30 minutes of the race there. So just explain, I guess the mental stability or the mental attitude it takes to drive literally in dirty air all race long.
It's definitely not easy, and it does make it easier when the driver ahead of you is consistent in hitting their marks as she is. So I mean, I know I can trust that I can get as close as I can because I know she's not going to deviate from what she's been doing, sort of thing. So it definitely allows for the closer racing like that, and allows you to try more things than you may normally try under normal circumstances. But it's been great fun. That was one of those races where I didn't care if I won or lose. That we won anyway.
Absolutely, and I mean, at the end of the day, it is just about getting out there and having fun. And if you had fun at the end of your race, I think that's a win for every driver, whether or not you finish on the podium. So, fun race?
100%.
Absolutely, I knew you'd say that. I know you enjoy close, tight racing like that, so I knew you were probably smiling ear to ear, even though you were sweating and white knuckling that steering wheel for the last 60 minutes.
Definitely. No, it was a blast.
Of course, your shout outs and anything you want to add, my man.
Just thanks to everybody, all the guys who come out to drive, and all the girls who come out to drive, and yourself and the league, and everybody behind the scenes who makes this all happen every week. Without everybody there, we wouldn't have these races. So I want to say thanks to everybody.
Absolutely.
Congratulations to the to Doug and Penelope for the podium finishes and the win. Great race, guys.
Absolutely, and some great racing again here today, not just in the front of the pack, but all the way through the field here today. There was lots of great battles and lots of good positional racing all day long. So definitely want to go back and check out the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, if you racers. If you didn't get a chance to at least listen to it while you're racing, it's a good one. So again, great job, great racing. Love to see you sitting there fighting for that championship, and it's in your grasp. Good luck coming into the finale, and I guess what's the mentality for the final week?
Practice.
Practice. All right. Yeah. Well, what else can you do, right? So, it's on like Donkey Kong come finale night in 2 weeks' time, ladies and gentlemen.
Last one's going to be a good one for sure.
We got ourselves a pretty solid four-way battle for podiums. So, every position is going to matter, and every mistake is going to count next week. So, thanks for taking some time to be here again with us after the race, and we're going to let you get back to your team and start processing that ever so important information you guys need to process. So,
thank you, sir. Have a great evening, everybody.
Appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we do have just Penelope here. She sent us up a little bit of a write-up. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that for a minute. All right. she still goes, so we're just gonna give her a minute here. All right, so she says that one lap pace wasn't the focus for this race. Obviously the focus is a race pace, a solid race pace. Obviously you've won and qualify as top as you can, but at the end of the day, we did talk about that at the beginning of the stream as well. It's not about how fast you can qualify, it's about how many laps you can get around the racetrack consistently and ahead of every other driver compared to the other drivers. So she's not wrong. She kept just enough fuel to defend. The aim was to get out in front and really just defend. When Pig overcut, she pushed to get out ahead. Then it was just a game of defending to the end. Having enough fuel to rev it out on the straights. She doesn't do well at this track, so trying to go fast was not as big a concern as it was about being consistent. And when we were watching just Penelope's times there at the end of the race, consistency, and we've made note of that, consistency was definitely one of the keys, and it always is the key to successful sim racing, especially when it comes to endurance racing. Consistency is always going to win over somebody who's a hot lapper. That's just the way it goes. So that's a great call there by Penelope as well. She says, thank you for having me in the series. It's great fun and great drivers. It takes it all out of her to hold off Pig. As for Doug, I knew his tire wear was bad, so he wouldn't be able to hold the amazing pace and quality, be able to with the sad face. I know he's working on it though. She has been studying Pigham's style, so I kind of figured that was correct there. She brought a whole new level of defensive driving here to the track today, and it did look like that she was indeed has been studying her competition, and she has just confirmed that. So she knew he wanted to go easy the first stint, so she did as well. She didn't try to drive away and just focused on keeping it on track, and that she really did. She has proven to be a super worthy opponent, not only in this BMW series, but also in the big sponsored series, the GT4 Championship Series as well. So she's coming in a little bit late to both seasons, but she has plenty of time to make up for that in the big series. This series here, she is climbing her way very quickly up those point standings. It's going to be all down to one final race for just Penelope, but she may have an opportunity to try and squeeze herself into a podium position. We'll have to wait to see once the official results come out. But with that being said, stay tuned to the socials, ladies and gentlemen, because we will be providing those results for you as soon as we do have official results for this, so you guys can all stay up to date as well to see where this series is sitting before finale in 2 weeks' time. I could ask her anything I want. I mean, how do you handle the pressure when you know you have such a great racer as Pigham's and Doug, for example, in behind you? Is it a comfort factor because because you've been studying Pigham's, that you know that he's not going to push it until it's getting near the end, or is it just a matter of practice makes perfect? She is listening. She just is. She's just typing to the questions as we're asking, ladies and gentlemen. So just bear with, and she has some lovely answers in her as soon as it happens here. So sometimes we have to do interviews a little bit differently, but that's what makes it great about interviews and technology. We have so many different ways we can do things. Third was far off, so she knew the worst was a second place finish. That took the pressure off, so she really could just focus on her race. There we go. That's a great answer right there by just Penelope. Just Penelope is typing, ladies and gentlemen. Just give it a moment. How was the stream today? Did we have the audio cracking on YouTube again, ladies and gentlemen? I know that was an issue last time we went live, so Pig is a clean driver, so I wasn't concerned about a dive bomb or anything like that. Fair enough. And I mean, Pigham said the same thing in his interview as well. You know, it's easy to stay really close to a driver that tight for that long when you can trust that they're not going to variate from their driving style, from where they brake, from where their line is, where their entry, their exit is. And again, you know, we said it, and Penelope confirmed it, and of course Pigham's confirmed it as well. You know, you do study your competition, so you can try to find weaknesses in their driving. So obviously Penelope has been doing her homework, ladies and gentlemen, and I think everybody better watch out in GT4, because just Penelope is coming. Yeah, too easy. I have time to mix it up. Absolutely. I guess really the last thing, you've covered it pretty well. It's awesome for you to be able to speak on your own behalf finally, so I'm glad that we worked that out after last round there. But shout outs and thank yous, I guess, Penelope, before we finish it off here tonight. That's all folks, says Pappy. I do want to make a notable mention. Happy Pappy, he came in late to the season. He did register as full-time driver for both the series, and then he took a little bit of time away from the track for whatever reason it was, and he came back to track, and since he has been back on the track here at the GTRC, he has looked absolutely incredible. So I just wanted to make a notable mention about Happy Pappy and give him a shout out. The improvement in his race pace, I don't know where it came from, or if he just decided to start taking it serious all of a sudden, but it has been incredible. So I just want to make a notable mention to Happy Pappy. If I were going to give a Driver of the Day award today, it would be a toss-up between Happy Pappy and Hair Razor. Obviously, Hair Razor with a well-deserving fourth-place finish after whatever happened. He came all the way from 10th, but Happy Pappy has just shown some incredible improvement in the last couple of races. So just a notable mention to all the fans out there. Yeah, he would be definitely in a discussion for Driver of the Day today if we had such said award. Thanks to Miss Devious for inviting me to the group, and thanks to Doug for bringing me into the BMW series. Thanks to all sponsors and organizers for putting on this great event, and thanks to Pigs for coming second. That's awesome. And she means, I don't think she meant it like that. I just said it like that. But yeah, no. Obviously, thanks to the podium finishers, ladies and gentlemen. Her and Piggins have been having some very great battles over the last 4 or 5 weeks, and I expect we're going to see a lot more of it out of these two drivers as well. Coming into round 5 at Laguna Seca next weekend, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be live here at the GTRC at the same time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. United Kingdom time, to kick off our 5th round of the GT4 series. We'll have Pro and our Pro-Am divisions running side by side at the same time. I will be live broadcasting that absolutely amazing Pro division up there. Those guys have been putting on some incredible races. And then over there at the Pro-Am division, Mr. Nolander Gaming taking on the broadcasting over there, and he has had some absolutely incredible races from that other division over there in the Pro-Ams as well. So I've seen the standings for the Pro-Am division, and oh, it is close. There is going to be a good fight there. And the Pro division, it's working into B1. So definitely don't want to miss next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Again, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. UK time. We'll be back live with the GTRC for that big GT4 series, of course, presented by the GTRC and sponsored by Apex Racing and GT45 Gaming. So lots on the line for those drivers in that GT4 series. So this weekend coming up, next Saturday, Laguna Seca, 1 hour endurance at the GT4 car with the GT4 cars. That's going to be a fun race. It's going to be interesting. So huge shout out again to all the drivers, to all our racers here today. 12 drivers on grid, nice, strong, solid field here in the BMW's, and bringing out mom and dad's car and ripping it around the racetrack for an hour. So absolutely much love to all the drivers, and of course congratulations to the podium finishers. Doug Barrow for a very solid third place finish. Of course Piggins there, very, very close second place finish, just in behind our race winner tonight, Just Penelope, and a very well deserved race win from Just Penelope. So congratulations to all 3 of these drivers. Thank you for taking the time to write that up and talk with us. We appreciate you, Penelope, and I hope you have a great evening as well. And we'll be back in a little while, ladies and gentlemen, for another fun afternoon of something, so stay tuned. On behalf of the GTRC community, I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming, and I would love to say thank you to everybody who stopped in to check out what was happening here today. Don't forget to like and share this out if you haven't yet. And we'll see you soon. GTRC Live next Saturday. Same time, same place. GT4 series, ladies and gentlemen. Stay winning. Remember, you all matter. Our doors are always open here in the community if you need to talk. And we'll see you all soon. Take care. Have an amazing rest of your weekend.